Hello and welcome to Healing Tree. We're in a different setup today, so if the sound is okay, you can give us a thumbs up or a heart or something. I'm here with my dear friend, Courtney Lindop. I'm so excited. She's my first guest on Healing Tree, and we are doing this. Oh, hi, Arthur. Great. Thank you for letting us know. So we're doing this really, naturally. Like there's no professional setup here. We're just sitting next to each other. We don't have a special mic, so I want to make sure you can hear us. And we're just going to try to engage with you all and with each other and just have a nice little healing conversation as we do on Wednesday. Yeah. So welcome to Healing Tree.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. We love your feedback. So anything we say that makes sense or doesn't make sense,
thank you, Arthur.
Drop it in the comments.
Arthur's saying it's great to see us both. Thanks you. We're happy to be here together. Yeah. So Courtney is an intuitive channel now. We used to work together. I'm working as an emotional healing practitioner. She's now working as an intuitive channel with the Channeled Connection. I put in the description below where you can learn more about Courtney and all that she does and all that she stands for. But did you want to describe a little bit, like when you work with people, when they come to you for help, what do you do with them?
Absolutely. So I offer what I like to call channeled intuitive readings, and it kind of blends channeled wisdom with some of my intuitive gifts. So we sit down, I let the channel come through, which is very casual. There's nothing kind of big or booming about it. I'm very conscious as the channel comes through. But what happens is I can feel and sense where people are holding energy in their body. And usually that relates to somewhere in their life where they're feeling a little stuck or unsure. And through my intuition and through the wisdom that comes through the channel, we aim to kind of shift that energy. So people walk away feeling lighter, more free, and just more confident to create whatever it is they want to be creating.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
So
I love my work.
Yeah, moving energy, helping people, right?
Yeah.
So I always feel like there's so many different ways to go about our own healing journey. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we have to find the thing that resonates for us. Kind of like the door that, like, what opens the door for us to get inside, to feel the shift.
And if you're anything like me, you've probably tried like 1,000 of them, tested out the ones that feel good, and some will resonate for a while, and then you'll find something else. And it's part of the fun.
I agree. I totally agree. So it can change at any time. What's really important here, I think, is learning to trust ourselves in the process, listening to what moves my heart, what opens me, who I connect to, what modality, and trusting that and going with that flow.
Yeah, and you're going to know by how it feels.
Right.
You know, if something makes you feel heavy, maybe it's not the right one you should hang around with. And something that makes you feel lighter, go with that.
Right.
Because that's what it's all about. If you're talking about healing.
That's right. You should feel healing. You should feel a healing feeling in your body, which is really interesting because I feel like that connects us to today's topic, which we wanted to talk about fear of mistakes. And I think I also put in the title there about how to free ourselves from that and move through that, which obviously that's what we all want. And it starts with like facing it. Right? So we're putting it out. We're addressing this issue today, fear of mistakes. So I'm curious if you're here watching us, if you resonate with that, like do you experience that? How do you experience that? Oh, I see Patricia. Good morning. I see Amy Anderson. Great.
So awesome you're here.
Okay, Arthur, 100% experiences that. It's so interesting to me, and then I'm curious to hear what you have to say too, but when I think I also experience that, it starts with observing, self-observation, right? Like self-awareness. When we tune in, I can notice that voice, that fear is like running in the background. Or if I find myself anxious or stressed about something and I try to zoom in what's going on here, it might be that fear.
Well, I'm so glad that you started there because part of the things I wanted to talk about is fear of making mistakes can be sneaky in a way because fear is just kind of manifesting as fear and the symptoms that come through your body at that time. But when you start to reflect inward, why am I so scared? So many times I reflected myself, oh, it's because I'm scared I'm going to do something wrong.
Yes, right.
And then you start to recognize that it comes in many different faces.
Exactly. So I wanted to flesh that out a little bit. Like fear of mistakes, what does that look like? Exactly like what Courtney said. Fear of doing something wrong, fear of being wrong, fear of not being perfect.
Yeah.
So then there's the desire to be perfect.
Yep.
There can even be a shame element, like how will I be seen if I make a mistake? Like, what's the big deal if I make a mistake? Yeah. Oh, people will judge me. People will see my weak points. Right. I won't be accepted. I won't be loved. Hold on, I wanna see what people are saying. A lot of things here. Okay, hi, welcome, Caitlin, Claudia. Welcome. Patricia, yes, I experience fear of mistakes because I'm so hard on myself. Right. Yes. So like
never very self-critical people like me. I understand.
Not giving yourself a break. Amy saying, I get scared, I'm gonna get in trouble if I make
that's
a mistake.
Good one too. Right?
So interesting. Where does that come from, right? Like down to childhood, we have this programming and these beliefs.
Yeah.
Fear of being ashamed. Arthur saying, right, like a public, I get that too. Like
public, it's huge.
Public humiliation, I talk about a lot. Yeah. It's very uncomfortable. I think I might have cut you off earlier. Were you gonna say something? I don't remember.
No.
We're just going with the flow. Yeah. All of these things that you're saying are like so painful.
Right.
Right?
Right. And they can control your life. I mean, I know for me, fear of making mistakes controlled my life to a pretty big degree. Because I was just
like frozen.
Yeah. You get paralyzed because you think anything you do might be wrong. Anything you do might get criticized. Anything you do might get judged. And then you kind of put yourself in this little tiny box, which is not a very fun place to live from.
No, it's so hard to just create. It's hard to trust yourself. I'm so interested in this box though. Like I'm so interested in this, like, because I do too. Like, whose rule are we all trying to follow here? So Claudia is also agreeing, like being ashamed, humiliated. Like, where does this begin? I guess this begins from a time that we're very small children. Things were taught by teachers, parents, things were shown.
And even a certain way people react to you, other kids react to you, teachers react to you. You think you're saying something that's fine, and then somebody gives you just a look. It can be so subtle.
It can be, right?
Those like looks like, oh, what was that? And then you get hung up on it. Like, oh, I guess I must have said something wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it when it came out of my mouth. But these little subtle feedback we get from other people can create these belief systems.
Right. And when we're so young and like pure and so innocent, we're so impressionable.
Yeah.
And it like makes an imprint and we don't even realize it.
Yeah. So you may have had somebody harshly say, you shouldn't have said that, or that was wrong. But you also may have had these really subtle experiences of just feeling like you did something wrong. And then you internalize that.
That's right.
And it dictates your next experience,
That's
your next
right.
experience, your next experience.
That's right. And I can see Caitlin is saying yes or not so subtle.
Subtle or not so subtle. Oh, thanks, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudia. So I wanted to speak to that. I'm just going to tell like a very short story because I have done a lot of like trying to trace certain emotion back to the first time I can remember feeling it. And I have this like funny memory when I was in kindergarten. So at that time, I'm like, I feel like school really was like the first thing that messed me up badly because can you relate? Because prior to school, my case, I was adopted. My parents who adopted me adored me. I was like their pride and joy. Like I got a lot of love and attention in the home. So I think I expected the whole world to be like that and to treat me like that. I really can see that there's that kind of expectation in there. So, I talk about a lot of topics on this channel and I'm just popping to the side for a moment and saying, we got to examine our expectations, what I think I should be, or how I think the world should treat me when we look at this fear of making mistakes. So back to the story. I go to kindergarten. My mom loved it when I would sing and like entertain her. That was her favorite thing.
That's so cute.
So I'm sitting in the classroom. I'm at a group table. There's two little boys on the other side of the table, and I'm singing Ebony and Ivory. Do you know the song? It might not be your generation. It was an old song by like Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
And I'm singing this song. And the little boys are saying, "Stop singing. You're bothering us." It was like a work time. And I'm like, "No, singing is good. Everyone loves singing." And they're like, "We're going to tell the teacher." And so I'm like, the teacher will love it. Adults love singing. They make it makes adults so happy when I sing.
Oh.
That was my cute little belief at like, what, 6, 5? The teacher comes over and says, "Danielle, you have to stop singing. It's time to work. It's quiet time."
Oh.
From that moment, I was like, I'm wrong. Everybody else is right. I thought I was good, but actually I'm bad.
Yeah.
This whole thing is rigged.
Yeah.
Nothing's the way I thought. I remember my little world flipped upside down.
Yep.
So
and that's how it happens. You have an idea that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. This is just me being me. And then you get shot down on a varying level of degree, one way or another.
Right.
And your brain just flips.
It's so painful.
And it's like, oh, I'm no longer safe to be myself anymore. I better be really super careful about what I say, what I do, how I say it, who I say it to. And then you created all these rules, which is exhausting to live with.
That's right. That's right. And it's gone so far from that moment. And I've also heard people, I want to read these notes, but the comments here, but I just want to, before I forget this, I've also heard people talk about the importance of being accepted by the tribe back when we were like tribal people.
First chakra stuff. Yeah, that's
that recognition, that need is like for survival.
Because you may be excavated out from the community and you literally can't survive. That is a very basic fear.
Because if it wasn't like that, why else would we care so much? Why would we feel so humiliated, which is first chakra, meaning root chakra, the sense of my own existence, safety, worth of my being is first chakra stuff. Why would we take it to that level if it wasn't so deeply connected with our sense of survival and safety? So I'm just checking here, Claudia. Okay.
I think a lot of people can relate to your story, by the way. I think that's happened to a lot of us in one way or another.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Claudia is saying, I wrote about it in my book. Actually, I wrote another story, which I won't go into, but I had several of them when I was in kindergarten. And you're right, Claudia, that second one that I wrote about was a moment where I actually, like, the feeling of actual self-hatred came online.
I remember reading.
Yeah, feeling like they're the winners, like he's good, I'm bad. Like, I don't deserve to exist. I actually remember thinking that thought.
Pivotal moment.
Yeah. Like,
your whole world changes.
Yeah. And we're so little, but we already feel that. That means it's like deep in our like ego, like original layers, like control, safety,
and then
desire.
It gets reinforced.
Right.
Either by ourselves or continually by the outside, or us interpreting what's happening to us from the outside.
Right. We interpret it, and sometimes we keep creating it because we believe it. Yeah. Now it's like a belief.
Yeah. That keeps us safe
inside,
which is why we keep doing it.
Right. Hold on. Let me see. I see. Okay, Patricia, I think mine started as a kid. I had a sibling that was a handful, and I just wanted to be the perfect kid. So when I made a mistake, I felt
disappointment.
I disappointed my parents. Yes. Right. Trying to be perfect. I'm like, raise your hand if you feel like trying to be perfect. There's an expectation to be perfect, and not being perfect, so-called, whatever that means, is not okay.
And it's going to disappoint others.
It will disappoint
That's a whole other layers.
Yeah.
Disappoint other people, and people who matter a lot to me.
Right. I have to be perfect to get what I need from the people who are taking care of me.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Claudia, you're a ray of light. Thank you, Claudia. So you're actually, Claudia, Claudia says, "So sorry, Danielle, you're a ray of light. I hope you know that." Actually, that comment makes me want to go to like the next aspect of this topic, which is to start to unpack and move towards healing or freedom, whatever we want to call it, the first step is in awareness. So a lot of times when you say like, oh yeah, I have this, I want to be perfect, or I'm afraid of making a mistake, I'm afraid of doing it wrong, the general people will worry about you because we are not always like putting emotions on the table like that. But this is a really important first step of healing, just like looking at it.
Yeah. Being able to see it.
Being conscious of it.
Yep.
Bringing what's unconsciously controlling us into conscious awareness. Even just like this, talking about it with someone you trust.
And it's so important. And it's actually, I think it's not even so important for you to find the root moment of where it happens. That can be very healing. But the most important part is, can you start to spot it when you see it in yourself, when you're out there in the real world, so you can make a different choice in real time. Right,
right. Yeah, I completely agree. Digging is not always necessary. I mean, in my case, I just was able to, and sometimes I'm not able to connect it to an original, but as Courtney just said, in real time, day to day, how can we notice?
Yeah. And if you can't recognize it in the moment, can you reflect back later and be, oh, that's why I didn't want to make that choice. Maybe I'm now ready to like overcome that fear. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let myself be free. I'm going to let myself do what I want to do and overcome that fear.
Right. So I would say it's about recognizing it. And in the recognition, I think, we have an opportunity to accept. It might not be like a grand ultimate acceptance, but just enough to be able to be honest with myself about it, maybe to speak it out loud to myself or to another, just to realize and be aware. So there's the awareness, there's the acceptance that happens, even just a momentary, and then that gives you the space to make a new choice.
Yeah. And I think where our work overlaps a lot, and maybe it's because we've worked together a lot, is you learn how to talk to the part of yourself that's in fear, the part of yourself that's in that terror. You learn to talk to them in a different way. And you kind of brought up the point of, you need to trust yourself, you need to love yourself. Because if you don't think that you're worthy of creating what you want to create, why would you even have the energy to overcome that fear?
That's right. That's true.
So learning how to talk to yourself, when you get to identify it, then talking to yourself. And if it is the childlike version of you that was so hurt, talk to that childlike version of you. Like, ask them why they're afraid. Tell them that they're okay.
Right.
That they're doing a good job.
Yeah. I feel like that is, there's so many ways to help us work with accepting. Like, we realize this. What am I going to do with it? How can I work on accepting this? Because ultimately we need to be able to embrace every single part of ourselves, like every part, every experience, every little wound, every little hurting inner child piece. We want to be able to embrace and not like hate that part and be pushing it away and cutting it out. And so I feel like what you're talking about helps us.
Because we get tripped up. I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't have that fear.
Correct.
I should be able to just do what I want to do without this fear.
The judgment. We judge ourselves. And we criticize ourselves.
Yep.
So we want to talk to ourselves. We want to address with more compassion, more loving kindness, more understanding. We're always just doing our best throughout our lives. We don't know where or when or why these things happened, but they certainly don't speak to our innate worth and value. And that, as I always say, like, we are ultimately just living, breathing being on this planet, like all other living, breathing beings. So we get the chance to come back to that essential self and realize, I've been being really hard on myself, but it wasn't actually true. Like, that doesn't mean I am bad. I am wrong. Like, if I made a mistake, or I'm afraid of making a mistake, or I feel humiliated, none of that means anything about me. It's just a feeling I experience.
Exactly.
And so being a little bit more kind to ourselves, to just allow ourselves to have that moment. And then maybe we can make a new choice. We
Right.
can breathe out, we can tap, we can do meditation, we can find someone, and we can say, okay, let me pivot how I'm looking at myself. Right? Looking at the chat.
Yeah, somebody had a different idea.
Okay, so let's see. So, okay, so Patricia's. Okay. Oh, S Quartz, welcome.
Smoky quartz?
Is it smoky
I don't
quartz?
know, I'm guessing.
Are you smoky quartz? I don't know. What about a different perspective when someone takes what you say in a completely different way? Okay, so I think you're saying when you say something and someone interprets it not in the way you intended. And so then they're kind of making you wrong because they interpreted it not in the way you intended. I believe that's what you're saying. That's also very interesting.
Yeah.
First of all, if you know, so it becomes an opportunity for you to check yourself. What was my ultimate intention?
Mm-hmm.
Can I find another way to deliver it to that person? Maybe yes, maybe no. Some people are not ready to listen. Can I apologize that they heard it in a different way, but it truly wasn't my intention? And if they feel ready, I'm happy to resume the conversation and try again to let them know. I think there's an opportunity there for self-reflection and practicing communication, which is something I talked about in a different live.
Yeah, it's a huge different topic, but I think that ultimately, as long as you know your intention was pure,
Right.
You never intended to hurt someone.
Right.
We don't have control the way anybody's going to interpret anything we say or do.
That's
and
true.
that maybe circles us back to that our value cannot be attached to the way people see us and see what we do. So of course we want to be mature communicators, and if there's a better way for that person to understand my intention, I'm more than willing to find another way.
Yeah.
But this is, another opportunity to be like, I know what I meant and it felt true for me.
Right.
And I need to let them have their experience.
Right. So it comes back to self-trust.
Yeah.
And as Courtney just said, worth, right? I know what I meant. And and I often talk about this on this channel, like these difficult moments, other people in our lives, relationships, interactions, they all become like an opportunity for growth, for deeper healing, for checking myself. Oh, did I put an energy? Oh, but I know what I actually meant. Like you get to work with your own self, have a deeper conversation with yourself so that you return to your original truth, and then you can stand firm in that with self-trust.
Right. And actually that's a really good point, because we're talking about fear of making mistakes or fear of being wrong has a lot to do with what we think other people think is wrong, opinion. What we think other people are going to judge us as mistakes that we may or may not think is a mistake, like singing a song.
Correct. And Patricia's saying, I know the song you're talking about. Courtney's younger. Yes, Courtney's younger than me.
I know Paul McCartney.
Even at that time, I was little and I was listening to my parents' music. So it's like a few generations gap there. Courtney, I hope you listen to it. It's a great song. Okay, escorts, great. I'm glad that was helpful. Good. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this conversation is bringing to light maybe some of what you all deal with day to day. It's always the same recipe, bringing in self-awareness, acceptance tools. I think a lot of what we probably both do are like helping with the acceptance piece,
rather than plastering judgment or more criticism.
Yeah, we have to undo that. We have to recognize how unkind we're being to ourselves and how critical and unforgiving we're being to ourselves.
Which the reason we're so good at is, sorry to speak for you, is because we had to do it a lot for ourselves. Yeah.
Correct. It's something that like really resonates for us because it's the work that we have to do. Yeah. And then I really pains me to see people suffering in that space the way that I have suffered. I know that there are a lot of ways. So it's nice to be able to bring tools to help reduce people's suffering. Yeah. So there's no way around this. We just go through it. We don't want to avoid that we have fear of mistakes or being wrong or being perfect or disappointed. We don't want to avoid these fears. We want to face them.
Right.
And we want to just hold space, loving kindness. Okay, I have parts of me like this. Yeah. Can I work on accepting myself as I am, forgiving myself as I am? And then I can always make a new choice. You know what? I'm not going to listen to that voice right now. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to let go of what I think that person's doing. I'm going to take some breaths, go for a walk, do some tapping, do some meditation. Yeah. There's so many new choices we can make to start like shifting our brain's pattern. Right. So transforming a belief, it takes time. Yeah. Yeah. So we have EFT, there's intuitive channeling, there's transformative art healing. Someone saying crystals. There's so many different things. There's nature. Oh my God. Yeah. Just practice. That's what we really want all of you to do is practice. Use the tools. Be aware. Yeah. I think that's a really important point is anything that means a lot to you it isn't going to be a one-time fix. That's right. You might have a big awakening or recognize a moment of that's where I got that fear from. And it may feel really powerful and healing at the moment, but you're still going to have to go through your day-to-day life and make those different choices. And that's what's going to make these new belief systems that make you feel more free, that make you feel more light. So we have these healing moments, but then we just keep working at it and loving ourselves in new and different and more expansive ways. And eventually it becomes smaller and quieter. That's right. And I want to say, maybe I want to kind of before we go into some meditation here, I want to kind of wrap it by saying that doesn't have to be a curse, what Courtney just said, that it takes time, that it's a day-to-day thing, that it's, sort of a constant effort when you really care to heal and to free yourself of these things. It requires consistency and real-time awareness. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. That's not a curse. That's not like, oh, it's so hard. I hate it. When's it going to end? I hear this a lot. I want us to flip that story as well and instead make the choice. This is a great opportunity. It can be like a game. And if it's coming up again, it just means, oh, great, I have more work to do with this. Oh, there's deeper freedom for me. Deeper freedom. I love that. Yeah. Yes. It's a great opportunity. So instead of it's a curse, and when's it going to end? I hate this whole emotional healing journey thing. This is an opportunity. Yeah. There's deeper healing. There's deeper freedom. There's deeper joy for me to access. Yeah. Deeper love. It can even be fun. I know it sounds strange, but it can even be fun. This kind of self-reflective work. Yeah. I love that that's a perfect bow to put in. When we are kind to ourselves, it can be very enjoyable. Yeah. You have to be kind to yourself. So we are at 30 minutes here. I'm going to do one little tapping round, just one round. If you're still with us, and if you're watching through the recording, feel free to join along. And then we're going to finish with Courtney bringing us into a short meditation to finalize our talk today. I hope that the things we brought up and the things we kind of unpacked a little were helpful for you. You can also let us know if you have any questions. And when we get on the other side of this stuff, we will be happy to answer them. Okay, great. Patricia and Claudia are with us. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's tap the side of the hand. Okay, and you can repeat after me. You can repeat in your mind however you like it. Okay, even though I have this fear of making mistakes, it's okay. I forgive myself for that. And I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though when I'm honest with myself, I have a huge fear of making mistakes. I'm afraid of doing something wrong. I'm afraid of being humiliated in front of people. It's okay that I have that fear. And I choose to love and accept every part of myself. Even though I have this fear of making mistakes, I don't like to feel it. And I'm really, really hard on myself for having it because I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be afraid. I do all this work. I'm not supposed to be afraid anymore. And I've been really hard on myself for having this fear. It's okay. I forgive myself for all the times that I've been so unkind to myself, so critical, so unforgiving. And I choose now to love and accept myself completely. And let's just tap on the top of the head and breathe out this fear of making mistakes, back of the neck, this fear of being wrong, top of your head, this fear of disappointing people, inside of your eyebrows. I'm afraid that people will judge me, side of your eyes. I'm afraid that they won't love me anymore, under your eyes. I'm afraid that I'll be humiliated in front of people, under your nose, and people will know just how bad I really am, under your lip. I'm remembering now that none of this is true, under your collarbone. So I'm taking a nice deep breath in, and I'm exhaling to let go of all those lies I've been listening to. Center of your chest. All those false stories that I'm telling myself, under your arms. I'm breathing out and letting go of these stories that are hurting me. Side of your thumb. I'm the one who hurts myself most of all. Next finger. So it's time to give myself a break. Next finger. I don't need to hurt myself anymore. Next finger. It's okay to feel what I feel. Next finger. And I now choose to remember who I am. Side of your hand. That I am just a living, breathing being, doing my best on this planet, like all the other living, breathing beings. Okay, lower your hands. You can close your eyes for a moment. Take a nice, deep, conscious breath in. And big exhale. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Good. If you want to share in the chat box anything you felt or ask any questions, you're welcome to. I'm going to have a sip of water. You're welcome to as well. It's always encouraged when we're doing this energy movement to help with the purification. And then we're going to go into a short meditation. How are you feeling, Courtney?
That was beautiful. That was so well said. And I could resonate with every moment of it. It was awesome.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We were just mentioning before we started how EFT can be powerful sometimes even without any words, because just through the tapping points, just through breathing and feeling, we're lowering the cortisol by about 24%. This is proven. So I hope all of you who tapped along can feel your nervous system a little bit calmer, release some stress. Great, Arthur. Thank you. He said this was great. I saw myself clearly where I need to work on. Wonderful. Patricia, I feel so relaxed. I feel like I need to just give myself way more grace. Yes, agreed. You're so on point. Good, good. I'm so glad this resonated for you. And we want to close today with a short meditation with Courtney.
Yeah, don't worry, but it'll be really brief. I just want us to kind of go off of that beautiful, relaxing energy and bring, a little bit of a different perspective. So if you're still with us, thank you so much. I've so enjoyed talking with you all. Danielle did put my information in the description box below, so please check that out. And if you'd like, you can rest your hands down, close your eyes with me. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And the tapping was perfect to help us reconnect to the body. And we're just going to deepen that by bringing our awareness from the head down into our heart space. Especially on your exhale, sinking down and into your body. From your head to your heart, and down into your center. Letting your energy, your consciousness drop down and in. Especially as you exhale, dropping down and into your body. And now you might like to rest one hand comfortably on your chest, bringing your attention back to that area of your body. And take a moment to envision a younger version of yourself. Whether known or unknown, when you created this fear of making mistakes. Just a younger version of you. Picture them in your heart space. And allowing them to have any of the feelings that they have. Giving them a moment to be upset or confused. Feeling misunderstood. And allowing them to have that feeling. Holding space for them to experience what they experienced. And just being with them for a moment. Telling them it's okay. You're okay. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's okay. You're okay. And you can let them in on a secret. From our perspective, there is no such thing as mistakes. Nothing you have ever done or ever will do is wrong. You are perfect and whole and complete exactly as you are now. From our perspective, there is no such thing as failure. You have never been bad or wrong. You are perfect. You are loved. And you are whole. Allowing that version of yourself to really receive that message. I know who I am. I have never been bad or wrong. There is no such thing as failure or mistakes. And so it is. And taking one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, sinking back down into your body. Feeling where you're seated. Breathing again. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. So I've really enjoyed this time with you. Thank you so much for inviting me on your channel.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. That was lovely.
And hanging out with all of you guys.
Yeah, I love to be together under the healing tree, talking about all things healing. I hope that you enjoyed, all of you enjoyed. Patricia says we missed you, Courtney.
I missed you too, Patricia.
And Claudia says just what you said and how you said was not, it was grounding. It was grounding for me, Claudia. Great. And Arthur says it was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Arthur. And thank you, everyone, so much for being here. So happy to be together. If you enjoy these healing conversations on Healing Tree, feel free to like, subscribe, share. Same with checking out Courtney's channel. Let's spread this healing as much as we can. Doing it for ourselves is the most powerful thing. And if we meet someone in need and this topic might resonate for them, feel free to pass it along. I'm so glad you needed this today, Patricia. We're so happy to be here with you. And have a wonderful, beautiful day. Oh, Amy, beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you two together so much. More, please. Okay, thank you, Amy. Thank you for the feedback. We are not far away, so we'll try to make it happen again.
Yeah, next you'll have to come on my channel.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Right, thank
Wonderful
you guys.
week. We'll see you next time.
Love you.
Take care. Bye-bye.